Did you see my speech yesterday? How many stories did you report on Russian collusion conspiracy lies? No, I want to know, have you apologized for Russian collusion conspiracy lies?
Recently, I was browsing news articles and I came across this headline. What exactly would it take for Republicans to walk away from Marjorie Taylor Greene? To be honest, I stopped and laughed to myself because the answer is so obvious.
The House of Representatives has spoken and minutes ago voted to remove the Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene from all House committees. This comes after GOP leaders refused to strip her committee assignments themselves and punish her for past support of dangerous conspiracy theories, liking social media posts calling for political violence, harassing the Parkland survivor David Hogg, and much more.
If school zones were protected with security guards with guns, there would be no mass shootings at schools. You know that? The best way to stop a bad guy with a gun is with a good guy with a gun.
Here's a hint. No amount of her lunacy is going to make the Republican Party cut ties with her. Sure, the House voted to remove her from all committee assignments for promoting conspiracy theories, but that's just because the January 6th insurrection was still so recent and fresh in everyone's mind, and ultimately that punishment was equated to a slap on the wrist. No, it doesn't matter how crazy Greene gets. She's here to stay. That's because she appeals to the Republican base for the same exact reasons Trump did and still does. That is that Trump and Greene are one of them. No, I don't mean one of them as in being a rural middle-class American or something like that. I mean that they are one of them because of how completely insane they are. You know the phrase real sees real? Well, crazy sees crazy too. For example, Marjorie Taylor Greene was a nutty Trump voter until she ran for office. Now she's a nutty Trump-supporting congresswoman. That's why Greene and Trump aren't going anywhere. As toxic as Greene is, there's no denying that she drums up support in the GOP with her hatred and bigotry. But there is one simple and obvious thing that could spell demise for Marjorie Taylor Greene's future in the Republican Party. That is, if she started telling the truth. If that happened, the GOP couldn't expel her fast enough. We have a perfect example of this too. Look no further than Dick Cheney's daughter, Congresswoman Liz Cheney.
It's over. The House Republican Conference had a voice vote. That means no recorded total, and has ousted Liz Cheney from her number 3 position within the conference. There will not know the vote totals here. It's something of one could say, an elegant way to avoid embarrassing either the leadership or Cheney with vote totals. She spoke to cameras briefly afterwards, remarks similar to what she said in front of the conference. And now we expect to see her continue on with what she has promised to do, which is try to lead the Republican Party away from Donald Trump, but she will be doing it from the outside, no longer a member of House leadership officially.
She had the audacity to reject Trump's election lies, and her own political party turned on her for it. They made an example of her to send a clear message to all office-holding Republicans. We aren't interested in the truth, we're interested in staying in power. It's that simple. The only thing that will make Republicans walk away from Marjorie Taylor Greene is if she stops being herself.
This is the most disgusting business model that anyone has ever seen, probably in the history of mankind.
On the Steve Bannon Show, Georgia Republican Marjorie Taylor Greene trashed her party support for Ukraine, and perhaps projecting, Greene claimed Republican voters are sick of the House Speaker.
They are absolutely done with Republican leadership like Mike Johnson, who totally sold us out to the Democrats. Joined the Uniparty faster than anyone we've ever seen in history.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, a historian we can rely on. Well, more on that in a moment. Greene is, by legislative standards, a loser. She failed to end foreign aid to Ukraine. She keeps railing against Speaker Johnson.
He has completely betrayed the Republican Party. He has completely betrayed Republican voters.
And now, as the New Republic headline says, conservatives quickly turn against idiot Marjorie Taylor Greene. Sunday's New York Post front page, Niet Moscow Marjorie. That's the nickname Greene received recently from former Republican House member Ken Buck.
Moscow Marjorie is focused now on this Ukraine issue and getting her talking points from the Kremlin.
The New York Post, which put Greene in that Russian hat, is owned by the conservative Murdoch family, the same family that owns Fox News.
So I really could care less about their criticism. They didn't send me to Washington. I do not work for them. As a matter of fact, I came to Washington because I myself, as a regular American, was fed up with the Uniparty as well.
A regular American, while countless conservatives say Marjorie Taylor Greene is anything but regular. Conservative Liz Peek recently wrote this column titled, "Marjorie Taylor Greene is an idiot." She is trying to wreck the GOP. Quote, "It's high time someone in the Republican Party told Marjorie Taylor Greene to turn all that bombastic, self-serving showmanship and drama queen energy on Democrats and stop trying to defeat her own party." The columnist added, Greene would rather burn down the House, metaphorically speaking, than work towards the greater good. But Greene, of course, seems to have no self-awareness or self-shame about the greater good. She only has one speed, and it involves screeching, even at her own party.
So you want to know something? I don't apologize for standing firm in my belief and my faith and my absolute allegiance to the United States of America. As a matter of fact, I am cemented in this, and I will fight harder for our country. The Republican Party is the party that needs to change, and they need to start reflecting the will of their voters and actually do the job instead of just running their mouth constantly every single campaign cycle.
The Wall Street Journal editorial board, another conservative media outlet, recently wrote a joint opinion piece titled Rep Mayhem Greene. The piece accused Greene of being most interested in TV hits and internet donors. And conservative columnist Deborah Saunders with the Las Vegas Review-Journal wrote, "Who put Marjorie Taylor Greene in charge of the House?" All of this Republican discord is, of course, music to the ears of Democrats. The Republican infighting has added to public perceptions that the GOP is out of control and cannot govern. And by historical standards and by the numbers, the perception is spot on. This Republican-led House is on track to be the least productive Congress in U.S. history. And all polling shows that when voters see Marjorie Taylor Greene and other conservative extremists as the face of the Republican Party, GOP campaigns get crushed. So perhaps it was only a matter of time before Greene's antics cost her friends in the world of conservative media. She has long had a reputation for peddling crazy conspiracy theories, including that 9/11 was an inside job, a Jewish family's space laser started California wildfires, and that the airplane crash of John F. Kennedy Jr. may have been caused by the Clintons.
Kennedy getting killed in the plane crash, because isn't it interesting that he had announced he was going to run for Senate just before he died in a mysterious plane crash. But anyway, so that's another one of those Clinton murders, right?
Last year, Greene had a nasty feud with far-right Colorado Republican Lauren Boebert.
Order, please.
Eyewitnesses reported the full dialogue included this. Boebert, "I don't like the statements you've made about me publicly." Greene, "Well, you copied my articles of impeachment." Boebert, "I haven't even read your impeachment resolution." Greene, "I've donated to you, I've defended you, but you've been nothing but a little bitch to me, and you copied my articles of impeachment after I asked you to co-sponsor them." Boebert, "Okay, Marjorie, we are through." Greene, "Lauren, we were never together." More recently, Greene has parroted Russian talking points on Ukraine.
This is a war on Christianity. The Ukrainian government is attacking Christians. The Ukrainian government is executing priests.
Greene has become so favorable to Russia that even Russian state television is gushing over her. Recently, a Russian state TV host described Greene as a real beauty. She is a blonde who wears white coats with a fur collar. She's demonstrably heterosexual. Greene is also the poster child of America's failed education system.
Now we have Nancy Pelosi's gazpacho police spying on members of Congress.
It's Gestapo, not gazpacho.
There's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to take this global cable of Satan-worshiping pedophiles out.
It's cabal, not cable.
I do not support your socialist policies. If you want to be a big girl, you need to get rid of your diaper and come out and be able to talk to the American citizens instead of us having to use a flap, a little flap.
Greene is also a proven liar who cannot seem to keep her stories straight, even about January the 6th.
And your wish was that Congress not certify Joe Biden as the winner of the 2020 election.
No, that's not accurate.
Not accurate.
Can't allow it to just transfer power peacefully like Joe Biden wants. I'm not interested in just fighting leadership. I think that's a complete waste of time.
To be fair, Marjorie Taylor Greene, like Donald Trump, may always have a core base of support among far-right isolationists and lunatics, and that could be enough to keep her in office in her exceptionally conservative Georgia district. But even previous conservative media supporters of Greene who support Donald Trump are questioning Greene's house-wrecking antics.
How is this leading to reelecting President Trump? How is this leading to the American people believing that the Republicans can govern? People are saying, look, she's creating chaos. She's making the entire party look like it's disrupted.
Of course, the GOP does not look disrupted. It is disrupted. And as long as Marjorie Taylor Greene and Donald Trump have influence and power in the GOP, the Republican Party will continue to be a mess.